All right. So welcome to week 4. Okay, this is week 4, video 1 with mastering volumes in trading with Urban Forex. Now, last week I gave you guys some homework on watching how your trades are performing. Hopefully by now you're able to take some trades. Your confidence level has increased a lot more, at least 5-fold, because now you have a better understanding of why a trade should work, and more importantly, you should be feeling a little bit more control in your trading. Okay, so I gave you some homework last week on the pullback parts to be like, will you notice some nuisances or details, right? Fine details. So this week, the whole topic is going to be how do you find the money in the details, right? There's a little details that we need to iron out and let you guys know about to give you a better understanding of, hey, what's going on in all this, okay? So let's get started here. Now, couple things. When you were noticing pullbacks coming in, what are the few things that you notice? Okay, if you're saying, sometimes I noticed a higher volume coming in. Sometimes I noticed volume during the pullback. Okay, so let's say this is the range break, right? Let's do this. So this is your range break or the high-low break. Okay, it drops down with an increase in volume. But then when the pullback comes in, okay, even if you're watching this on the 15, when the pullback comes in, you have an increase in volume that is higher than your break volume. Okay, it's higher than your break volume. Now, what does that mean? Okay, does it mean it's going to become a buy? Okay, the answer is no. It doesn't mean it's going to become a buy. It just means it's not going to be a sell anytime soon. Okay, so let me explain why. All right, now, if for some reason you have let's say a major range here, and from this range you have the very large players hitting the sells, boom. Okay, it shows up on the volume and everything, everyone's selling. Then you have a low volume pullback. That's fine, and then increase in volume again on the move down. Fantastic, they're selling. Then you have a slight increase in volume on the pullback. What that's going to do is it's no longer going to look like this, but rather it's going to look like it's trying to do 2 entire sets on that time frame. So let's say you see this on the 60. This stuff you can go down to the 15 and you can figure it out. But if you have a higher volume increase, what's going to happen is the higher time frame takes over and it's going to do something like this. And then possibly go down. You see the time difference of how long that takes is because the high volume in here caused this to go up again. Okay, does that make sense? So what we're looking at for higher volumes here is, if there's a higher volume on your pullbacks, rule of thumb, stop. Okay, don't even consider doing sells on that or buys, depending on which direction you're going. So in this particular case, when you see a high volume that is challenging your pop volume, you know, where it pops out of the range, okay, if it's challenging that volume of the break or the pop, if you want to call it, then it's a no-go. Okay, this one is not even challenging. It is above. It is bigger. Okay, that's not a good sign. Okay, so now the question comes is, okay, well then, what do I do with my other pairs? How come here I can see it takes this long before the next move happens? But what about in moments like these? Okay, we have a pop volume here. Okay, on its way down compared to all of this ranging activity, if you want to put it. Let me just clean all this up. Here we go. We got ranging activity. Market pops to the downside. We have some increase in volume. It's not higher than normal. It's just slightly above the blue MA, right? If this is what you consider normal, then this is half of that. Okay, so that's not really a good sign, but okay, let's say it does pop out and we have volume because it is quite healthier compared to the range volume. Okay, but now what about the pullback phases? Notice the pullback begins here. Look at that. You see, it's not higher, but it's not much lower either. The volume is pretty still high. It's still pretty high. And then it goes dead, jumps up again, pretty high still. Look at that. So you see your pop volume is now being matched parallel with your pullback volume. So the danger comes in is when the volume on the pullback matches or challenges or defeats the pop volume. Okay? Basically what I'm trying to say is your pullback volume must always be lower. That's it. If you want to keep it a simplistic way, it must always be lower. If it's high or challenging enough, it means it's going to take longer. Okay? Now when I say longer, what happens is it becomes a 4-hour 60 thing. Okay? Pullback, V formation, test, and then kaboom. Okay, starts dropping from there. Okay, starting to make sense a little bit? Okay, all right. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna explain these in various little examples and situations. And going into the next video, I'm gonna show you what high volume peaks mean. Okay, high volume peaks mean. Okay, because we wanna focus on the little details that show up and what do those details mean. Okay, so let's proceed to the next video.